This is the meeting of Northampton County Board of Commissioners. First of all, let me say good evening to all of you. It's a pleasure to see all of you here tonight. Glad that you're here, that you could know what's going on in our county. And it's certainly a pleasure to have you come and be with us and to let us know that you too care about the kinds of things that we do in Northampton County. At this time, we're going to note that when we begin our meeting, we always look behind me on the wall of our mission statement. And of course, there is our vision statement, which kind of guides us in all that we do and all that we try to do for Northampton County. So tonight, I want you to know that we're going to be looking at our mission statement, even with our agenda and the kinds of things that we are doing. Let me establish right now, there is a quorum here tonight. Also want you to note that Ms. Fulton, Commissioner Fulton is on the Zoom. She has sickness in her family. She's at in Greenville, and we're certainly hoping the best for her and her family. So we do have a quorum. We shall then, at this time, take a few moments because we're beginning our meeting and we want to have a few moments of silence, if you would. At this time, if you would, will you please stand with me as we pledge allegiance to the flag? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for standing with us. At this time, board members, you do have a agenda. You have the agenda before you. This agenda was perhaps sent to you. Perhaps since the weekend, you might have something you need to change or delete. If so, we'll entertain that at this time. I do want to ask that we add this evening presentation from our from Mr. Derrick on the non-profit grants award, and I'd like to add that at tab. Let's see. Let's add that right before our tax information matters. We could add that. That is the economic development has bringing to us the recommendation for those awards. You've heard me give you the additional that I have. If you have any other additions that you need to add to the agenda?
No additions.
If not, could I have a motion that we approve the agenda as given to us in writing and one added item?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended to add the item for the nonprofit grant awards before the tax matters.
Thank you.
Second.
We move to proper second that we would approve the agenda as given. There any questions, any discussion? Not, all in favor, let it be known by you, just sign aye.
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 Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. This time, the master attorney, if he will read for me the conflict of interest statements.
Yes, sir. In accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by this board in section 153A-44 of the North Carolina General Statutes, it is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter.
No conflict.
No conflict.
No conflict.
Thank you. No conflicts. Then let's continue on with our agenda. Number 5 is the citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments tonight? Okay. Any other citizens' comments? No.
Do we need to add that, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said Serving Fire Department, correct? Yes, sir.
7. Okay, we didn't, did you get anything from 7? 5, 6, right now. We did. Okay, I'll tell you what, we can add it to our agenda if you like to do a presentation to us tonight. Are you prepared to do a presentation? Okay, sir, I hate to tell you, but you need to get up to the county manager because that's all it takes. And we don't have to do anything because that'll be in next year's budget. We're talking about next year's budget, which we're going to be doing in April. If you give that information to our county manager, then we will include that in our budget for next year. But we need that information in order to include it. Okay? There's another town, I think it's the town of Conway, has the same thing. Right, okay? Yeah, he will correspond with you, and I want you to know that if that's done, then it'll come before the board when we do our budget for next year, which will be about April, May, we'll do it, okay? If he have a problem, he'll let you know. We don't have a problem if you follow that procedure. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's fine. That's fine. You can
Fine.
leave it.
Thank you.
And then compelling you to be here with us. Okay. We thank you. We appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We have comments from citizens.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, please do.
Okay, citizens, when you're recognized, please approach the podium and speak into the microphone. You'll have 5 minutes to make your comments to the board. The chair will cut off all speakers exceeding their allotted time. If you have any questions of the board, you will receive a subsequent oral or written response from the board or county staff. The board will not engage or respond to your questions during your allotted time. Pursuant to North Carolina law, this time is allotted for citizen comments for the purposes of allowing commentary on county business. This time is not an open forum to be publicly critical of the performance of any county commissioner or county employee, and the chair has the authority to maintain the decorum of the meeting. Thank you. Board members, the first sheet I have is from Miss Belinda Joyner.
John. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Told that you all voted last month to go to one meeting of the month. Prove that you all will only have one meeting.
No, one meeting and another one if we need to.
If you need to.
Yes.
So how were the citizens made aware of this? On the, you know, that only another meeting will be done only if they need to, like, we've been used first Monday and third Monday. So how were they made aware that would not happen?
Okay, I don't suppose to be talking, Belinda. I really don't, but I tell you what, we will get back with you and answer that question for you. How, because that was in our motion that was made. Yeah,
This is a matter of procedure, Ms. Joyner, and I'm happy to clarify. So if the second meeting is held during the month, it's technically going to be a special called meeting under North Carolina law, and they will all be separately noticed if they're held. So
You're saying separately noted. In other words, if there's gonna be a special meeting, how will I be notified? That would be a call meeting.
all right, North Carolina law, it will be posted on this door. If you are on the sunshine list, which I believe you are, do you receive emails of notices of the meeting? Well, I would submit that you contact our clerk and get on that list. And then, it's posted on the county website and Facebook pages.
And then let me ask you another question. Suppose people don't have Facebook or don't have websites, how would they be informed? Because everybody don't, they don't have Wi-Fi and all of this. Some people can't even get Wi-Fi and can't do this.
And we'll respond to you, ma'am. We'll respond to you.
We'll get back.
Okay.
Okay.
And another question, I looked up the governing board. It says you all are allotted so much money a month, and I think it's like $1,800 and some dollars a month. What does that entail? $1,800 and some dollars.
Everything that you do. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get to you. Okay.
I would like a breakdown because I
Okay.
was just wondering. was it
Travel.
for the meetings or just,
Travels, everything you, I don't supposed to be talking, so let me,
all right.
okay, we'll give it to you,
got
right?
My address.
Yeah, we'll get to
I'd
you.
like a copy of that if you don't mind.
We'll get to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Board members, the next, citizen is Chris Vincent.
Good evening, good evening.
Doing, Chris?
Yeah, I'm just speaking on behalf of my uncle. He still here on during the December 2023 session. He gave a brief description of the issues that we were encountering with Sun Energy. And he was contacted by the county maybe a week afterwards and told that they would get back with them. And I spoke with him today. He said they hadn't got back with them, and he just wanted to know what are y'all's policy or time frame of getting back with him whenever a citizen may have an issue.
It was Mr. Moody.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
He wasn't able to be here tonight, so he wanted me to ask that question.
I'll respond directly to the.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
That's all.
That's all you have? Well, sister need to sign up, you feel free to do so. Hear you. Okay, if not, we're going on to number 6, propose approval of inspector contractor. Turner.
Apologize, that's me. Board members, before you is a proposed service contract for level 2 inspection services. This is, I believe, and Mr. Phillips can correct me at any point, this will be on a temporary basis. The contract will be with Edgar L. Mitchell, who is a licensed level 2 inspector. The pertinent terms are he'll be paid $50 an hour for his inspection services for the county. The contract can be terminated by either party upon 30 days written notice. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board members, you have any questions? Any questions? This is someone who will be on a contract to do inspections for houses,
Mhm.
housing inspections that we need, that we'll have. They will do them as they come in and as they need that service. This contract, we were fortunate to have one already on our list that's qualified. And we have this person who will come from another county, going to be working part-time with us in this area. Am I right, County Manager? That is correct. Okay. Do anybody have any questions about that? These two persons meet the requirements of the state. Of course, I know our county manager has to register them with the state, letting the state know that they are now people who are doing our inspection.
Clear. Mr. Chairman, I move approval for the proposed inspector contract for Edgar L. Mitchell at a rate of $50 an hour.
Okay, could I have a Second.
Second.
Moving
Second.
properly. Been moving properly second, that we will have Mr. Edgar Mitchell to be the inspector with the amount of money that's given in the contract. Are there any questions or any discussion? Not all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
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 I, Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. We're just glad that we can find someone who can continue doing our inspections for us. At this time, we shall move to tab number 7. We're going to talk about the proposed renewal 24-25. Mr. Joyner, Human Service Benefit Specialist. Joyner.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I stand before you all today to obtain the board's approval for a 3.75% increase in our medical coverage for the fiscal year of 2024 to 2025. And it only be changes mainly just for medical, not for the life insurance, vision, dental, mainly solely for the medical coverage. And at this time, I also have Mr. Gallagher, the representative Mr. West from Gallagher, who handles our benefits, and he's here to help me and to assist you all with any questions or concerns you all have in regards to the increase.
All right, RJ, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, good evening, and thank you to the commissioners for inviting us to join this conversation today. I'm going to flip forward to the second page here, the history of the county becoming a member of NCHIP, as well as the renewal that RJ just hit on, and then the timing. If we flip forward to page 3, this is a reminder to some folks that the county joined NCHIP back in July of 21. So that would be fiscal year 22 was the county's first full year as a member. The second year being FY23, and this being the county's third full year. You'll see here on page 3, this is a full view of all the members across the state. There's 28 local governments that partner with the North Carolina Health Insurance Pool. And really the reason for partnering is being able to join together so you can joint purchase your health insurance contracts, your pharmacy contracts. And by doing that, we're able to stabilize the cost of health insurance and smooth out those renewals in the long term. If we flip forward to page 4, again, this is just a recap of what took place in the spring of 2021. The NCHIP Board of Trustees, they reviewed the risk profile of Northampton County, and they voted to approve the county 14 yays and nobody abstained, so 0 nays. So that's very important because you all now are a member of the North Carolina Health Insurance Pool, and you're also a part of evaluating new prospective members. And so to make sure that we keep delivering low single-digit renewals, we want to make sure that we're partnering with the right counties. And if you flip forward to page 5, you'll see here that Northampton County is represented on the NCHIP Board of Trustees. Ms. Sheila Watford, your HR director, she's the primary delegate that sits on the board representing Northampton County. But this is a member-driven board. And so it's represented by HR directors, county and city managers, and finance directors. And so you all are the ones that are guiding the decisions to drive NCHIP forward. It's a very much we're in it together mentality. Everyone is on board with working together to stabilize the cost of health insurance long term. As we move on to page 7, RJ highlighted the renewal this year is 3.75% increase to your current funding. If we look at our total annual funding for your health insurance plan today, It's $3.12 million. 3.75% increase equates to $3.24 million. And if we flip forward to page 8, the reason behind the increase is summarized in, let's see here. My slides are a little bit out of order. But this right here, what you're looking at is how your renewals compare to market trends. The dark blue line shows Northampton County since you've become a member of NCHIP. So FY22, the renewal was 4%. Last year, 2.8%. This year, 3.75%. So a 3-year track record of a 3.5%. We always take that and compare it to market trend increases. And that's the light blue line that you see at the top. The industry averages are in the 7.5% range. This year, we saw an uptick in trend, 8.4%, and that's primarily driven by the high cost of pharmacy drugs. But you'll see that the county is actually outpacing market trends significantly by about 5 points. And that's as a result of your membership in the North Carolina Health Insurance Pool. Next slide. The NCHIP program provides a lot of stability for not only the staff, but also the members and the dependents that are covered under the plan. Blue Cross Blue Shield is the partner for the North Carolina Health Insurance Pool. They've been the partner since our inception, which was July of 2018. And they'll be a long-term partner of NCHIP as we move into the future. So confidence and stability are two things that we talk about quite a bit with our NCHIP members. Next slide. These are the 3 factors that really impact the reason for the 3.75% increase. Number 1 is the high loss ratio. As it stands today, halfway through your plan year, the county's running about 102% loss ratio when we look at the claims that are being paid out versus premiums paid in. But that's before you start sharing risk with your other member partners. After we share risk, that loss ratio is dropped significantly to 92%. So NCHIP is really helping to keep costs low for the county after we start sharing risk with our high cost claimants. We make a note here that without risk sharing, the county could be facing a 15 to 20% renewal. So it just goes to show that the model is really working to help spread the risk of those higher cost claims. The second bullet point around building reserves. So it's really important that reserves are built, and so you can sustain low single digit increases over the long term. Right now, the county is sitting on about $525,000 in reserves, which is about 2.7 times what we estimate is needed. And we like for our groups, the size of the county, to be right around 3 times needs. So I mentioned that the county joined back in 2021. So you've been in the program for about 2.5 years. So you're on pace to be very, very well reserved and to be able to take advantage of those low single digit renewals. So we like to see the progress that the county has had since your very first year in NCHIP. And then that last point I'll hit on, I mentioned this, the market trend increases this year are about 8.4%. But the model that the county is in is really helping to keep your costs significantly below market trends. And so we call out that NCHIP allows the county to hold your renewal 5 points better than trend, which is a really good thing for the county and those that are covered by the plan. Next slide. So it brings us to our timeline. We presented this information to the county staff on January 4th. We had a renewal conversation with Blue Cross to review programs available to all of our members on the 23rd. And then here we are today on the 5th, meeting with you all. And we are ready to prepare with Sheila and the HR team on getting ready for open enrollment starting this month and next month as we lead into a May open enrollment period and a July 1st effective date. So with that, RJ, I'll turn it back over to you and we'll open it up to see if there's any questions from the commissioners.
All right, I appreciate that, Wes. All right, well, one recommendation will be for the board to approve the 3.75% increase and continue to absorb the increased cost for employee only contributing $31 per month, which equals out to about $108,000 per year. And that's up from last year, we paid around $24. So it's increased to about $7 more. So we're paying around $843.25. And there it increased to around $874.58. And so my recommendation would be for us to approve the 3.75% increase, because like Wes was saying, if we go outside of this network, we're looking at a 15 to 20% increase. So that's why I feel that recommendation. That's the recommendation.
Thank you. Well, members, you have any questions you need to ask at this time? Commissioner Faulkner, any questions?
No questions. No questions. I would like, for the next year's presentation, I know you give an industry average trend. If you can provide, and maybe if they can get that to you, if you can provide the average of the in-chip partners, as a third line graph in there, trend line, so that I can see how we're faring as it relates to the other partners in the network.
Yes, ma'am. We can definitely include that.
Well, members,
No, sir. 3.75 increase, right?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
yeah,
I don't have any questions.
County Manager, you know, it's left upon you preparing the budget for next year. I know I can speak on behalf of the board members. We wouldn't like to see this pass on to the people who are working with us. Last year, we assaulted in our budget, cut where we need to cut to make sure that we didn't add any more burden to our employees. We ask you, as you look at your budget for this year, that you would come back to us and perhaps do all you can to make sure that our employees do not have to absorb this. Okay,
Sure.
am I right?
That is correct.
Did you agree?
Yes.
Okay, and I think that would, I think what we can do to add morale to our employees and so forth, because everywhere else, health insurance is going up. That's right. It's going up eventually. And I just think that would be a blessing for our workforce. The board members, they're ready to move forward. I would have, unless you have another question, I would entertain a motion at this time that we would look at this 3.7% increase, absorbing it in our budget.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we absorb the 3.75% increase and into the budget for the upcoming year for our employees.
Second.
Moving proper second, that we would approve the recommendations coming from HR about our insurance for next year. I want to say to you all, thank you for the fine job that you all are doing. I haven't had any complaints from employees about insurance. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
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 I Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are.
This will give you plenty of time. We won't have to be rushing and with employees. This give you plenty of time now
Yes, sir.
to have it ready by July 1.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. At this time, we do have on our agenda is the proposed appointment of candidates to the to the Northampton County ABC Board. Board members, tonight would like to recommend that we would appoint to that board Ricky Morris, who lives in Woodland, North Carolina, who is who lives in our community and who have a desire to be on that board. We do note that Mr. Smith resigned from that board, and we do have a vacancy on that board. And Mr. Morse sent in his application saying that he would certainly like to serve. Mr. Morse, I believe, is in Woodland, is on the board of commissioners in Woodland. And he would love to join this board of ABC board. That's the recommendation that I have at this time. If I could get a motion, we would approve him to be on that board. They desperately need someone immediately to be on that board.
Chair Tyner, I make a motion that we approve Mr. Ricky Morris of Woodland, North Carolina, to serve on as our representative on the Northampton County ABC Board.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
Moved in proper second that Mr. Morris will be added to the ABC board as of tonight, so that he can start meeting with them and they can do the kind of planning they need to do. Are there any questions or any other discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by your sign aye.
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 Aye, Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much, board members. At this time, we should continue on and we should have health department matters.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I come to you tonight with three different two contracts and one vehicle purchase. So the first one that I will do is the vehicle purchase. The purpose of this decision paper is to request approval from the board to pursue the purchase of a vehicle using the communicable disease funding that we have received in AA 546, which is communicable disease money. The AA allows the purchase of a vehicle with the primary purpose to be used to provide public health services in underserved areas. And the state approved the request to use AA 546 funding on January the 19th. 3 quotes were obtained from different vendors for vehicles that would satisfy the state guidelines. You'll see the first one is a 2020, these are all 2024 Camrys with the purchase of $31,542. Next is out of Toyota of Rocky Mount with $30,662.95. The third is from Wilson Toyota with the cost of $30,545.34. No local funding will be used to purchase this vehicle. The total cost will be incurred by the state COVID AA $546. The purchase request was presented and adopted by the Board of Health at their January 16th, 2024 meeting with the recommendation to purchase the vehicle from Toyota of Roanoke Rapids with the cost of $31,542 due to the close proximity of the dealership if we had to do any kind of routine maintenance or anything like that.
Okay. Thank you so much. You've heard her recommendation for the vehicle, which will again not cost us. State is giving that to us. What is your recommendation, board members?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of the vehicle from Roanoke Rapids Toyota.
Second.
Moved in proper second that we approve the recommendation given to us for the purchase of a vehicle. Are there any questions, any other discussion? Not all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
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 Ayes have
Aye,
it,
Faulkner.
motion. Ayes have, motion is carried. Okay, continue on.
The second I'm bringing is a laboratory data management use with LabCorp. And it's to approve the agreement between Northampton County Health Department and LabCorp in order for LabCorp to interface with our electronic health record, which is QRMD. This agreement will allow LabCorp to populate or interface with the health department's EHR, QRMD orders, test results, and alerts. There is no cost to the health department for this service, and LabCorp will be providing the necessary equipment at no additional charge. The Board of Health approved this agreement at the January 16th, 2024 session.
Board members, what is your recommendation? What is your pleasure at this time?
I move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Move proper second that we approve the laboratory company. Are there any LabCorp? Are there any questions or any discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by Julia sign aye.
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 Al Faulkner.
Motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Last one that I bring tonight is, it's still with LabCorp, and we have our current agreement has been in force since 2001 with the terms that auto renew and no modification to the original body of the contract, except for various price changes. And since we are doing this new lab data management use, they also wanted us to take a look and just make sure that everything in our original contract was up to date. And so they just wanted us to go in, and they have added, I think you will see on page 6, 7, and 8, you will see our current fees, and those are the ones that are, our contracted fees with LabCorp. And those are the only things that have been changed. And then the agreement and updated rates were presented to and approved by the Board of Health at the January 16th, 2024 session.
Thank you. Not much we can do about it. Board members, what is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the revisions presented.
Second.
And moving proper second that we would adopt the changes that were made from LabCorp to Northampton County for their services. Are there any questions? Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
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 Al Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Thank you.
Okay, that's,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Thank you for all that you all are doing over there. Great job, great job. Nonprofit?
Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As you all know, every year the board awards $20,000 to local nonprofits. This year, for the 2023 application period, we received several applications. The department took quite a bit of time to review each application in detail, which included an extensive analysis and consideration of looking at various factors such as economic impact, social impacts, and thus far. And as such, I'm recommending the following awards. The Garysburg Volunteer Fire Department of $6,000, of which the funds will be used to purchase fire-related equipment, such as helmets and hose-related equipment to assist them during their events or on their calls. The Lake Gaston Community Center of $3,000, which the funds will be used to replace furniture fixtures, primarily chairs and tables, so that the community center can continue to provide a meeting space and forums for social community events. The Concerned Citizens of Rich Square of $6,000, of which the funds will be used to cover stipend expenses for community classes such as home buyers programs, financial literacy, business development, and grant writing courses. And finally, the Severn Rueting Club, of which, that is $5,000, of which the funds will be used to purchase an emergency generator, shelter generator for their club. This building is used during natural disasters so they can provide shelter as well as food and other necessities during natural events. These 4 applicants all display great impact to the community, as well as sustainability in their proposed projects. So those are my recommended awards for the 2023 nonprofit cycle. Questions?
Board members, he's given us a list of those the department has gone over and they're recommending. In our budget, we do have, we've been doing this for the last 4 years. We have given monies to help nonprofits in our county. These profits are accountable to us as far as financials, and they had to go through the criteria.
That's correct.
And there is a formula that's being used, and I think he sent it to all of us, that what he used criteria just wasn't, just, I want to give this group one, I know this group, but everybody had to follow criteria. You can see that criteria, and thank you for the criteria, because it does make a difference. You know, you need a criteria, and thank you.
And it puts everybody on a level playing field so that it's fair and everybody is rated appropriately.
Mr. Chairman, with that being said, I move approval for the nonprofit, the Gaston Volunteer Fire Department in the amount of 6,000, the Lake Gaston Community Center in the amount of 3,000, the Concerned Citizens of Rich Square in the amount of 6,000, and then the Severn Ruerton Club in the amount of $5,000.
And just one correction, that is the Garysburg Fire Department, not Gaston.
Garysburg. Yes, sir. I said Gaston, then Garysburg. That is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And Lake Gaston Community Center.
Lake Gaston.
I have a second. Have a second.
Second.
Moving proper second, that we would allot these funds out to these nonprofits who do such a great job in our county, help us in so many ways. And we would allot those funds out. Are there any questions in the discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We know that nonprofits will certainly benefit from those funds. At this time, we're gonna have a health attached department matters.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bring you greetings from Northampton County Tax Department. Before you this evening to report the amount of delinquent tax and fees to the board and request an order to advertise secured 2023 tax bills during the second or third week of April 2024. It is my recommendation that the board adopts an order to the tax collector directing the secured 2023 tax bills be advertised. North Carolina General Statute 105-369. Also included in your package should be the order itself, the advertisement, and the actual unsecured and secured bills.
Well, members, you got all that list in your package, and she's coming before us as required by law. We must advertise. I think she's probably going to the last box. I think she could go to do that, but it must be advertised. Do you have any questions you want to ask our tax administrator? Any question? Any question? I just want to ask, well, do you know what the tax collection rate 90
Our
tax,
collection rate,
uh,
about 95%.
about 95? 95% be paid. That's what.
And Ms. Mason, we're still offering citizens, I know we have to advertise by law. But if a citizen is having trouble paying taxes, they can set up a plan,
Yes.
payment arrangement plan. Yes. Just want to make that clear to, citizens that there is a conceptual framework that we have in place here in Northampton County, that if you are having difficulties, that you can set up payment arrangements with the county.
Yes, we also encourage our taxpayers to put in applications for exemptions due to 65 and older.
Yes.
Income limit is
I was ready to ask, yes.
67 this year. You can do land usage. We also have veterans.
Absolutely.
Those kind of
Yes.
highly encouraged citizens.
Yes. And
Are you informing the people when they come into your office about these kinds of things that they can do?
Yes, sir.
you have that advertised anywhere? Just,
Yes, it's on our website. It's
okay.
hanging up in our office, and we do. We speak to our
I got you. Yes, I understand. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm fine. No further questions for me.
Commissioner.
I don't have any questions.
Commissioner Faulkner. Commissioner
No.
Faulkner, any question?
No questions.
Okay, if not, could I have a motion then that we allow her to advertise those who are late paying taxes as required by law?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Yep, second.
When proper second, we were informed we would let our tax administrator advertise as by law. Are there no other question, no other discussion? All in favor, let it be known by usual sign. Aye.
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 Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Two more items.
I know, I got you.
Also before you to gain the board's approval for 6 Avalam appeals in the amount of $929.45.
Board members, you see before you that we owe $929.45.
45 cents.
I'm glad. Could I have a motion that we refund the citizens?
I make a motion to refund the taxes in the amount of $929.45.
Second.
Move the proper second that we will refund as this is given to us. Are there any other questions or discussion? Not all in favor, let it be known by usual sign. Aye.
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 Aye. Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Okay, my last item.
Yes.
I'm coming to the board for approval for 13 motor vehicle tax appeals in the amount of $1,310.58
Board members, likewise, our taxpayers are owed a refund of motor vehicles for whatever reason. It's given to you, information given. But what is your pleasure on refunding these persons?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval for the release of $1,310.58.
Second.
Proper second, that we would refund those the amount that's given. Are there any questions in discussion? Not all in favor, known by you sign aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, I've had it, motion's carried. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate what the tax department is doing. At this time, if we could hear from our financial office this time.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I will be presenting 4 budget amendments for your consideration, as well as the monthly financial report for the month of January. The first budget amendment would be budget amendment number 73. This is on behalf of the Health Department. Funds received in the amount of $14,292, and that is from the ARPA mini grant. Budget amendment number 74. This is on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. This is also revenue received in the amount of $2,000. And this is for the sale of assets for the military surplus equipment line.
Okay.
Budget amendment number 75. This is on behalf of E911. And this is a reprogram where we will be wanting to transfer 25,000 from the general fund to our E911 maintenance and contract line. And this is to cover the quality assurance service for 911. This is due to a board assessment that is required. And last, I have budget amendment number 76 on behalf of the Health Department. This is also funding received of $5,000 even, and that is also from the ARPA mini grant. Are there any questions?
Remember, she's gone over these budget amendments that we have. You have any questions you need to ask her about any of these? She's got all the information for you. Copies of the checks, everything is here for you. Do you have any other questions you need to ask about the budget? I need a motion on this that we would approve the budget amendments as presented to us by our finance department.
Make a motion, we approve the 4 budget amendments as presented.
Second.
With proper second that we would approve the budget amendments as presented. There ain't a question, there ain't other discussion. If not, all in favor, let known by you, your sign. Aye.
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 Aye. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. You want to
Okay.
go over the finance for us?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, thank you. For the month of January, the rule of thumb for cumulative spend was to remain under 58.3% for expenditures. I will start with the general fund at 19.9 million or 52%. Department of Social Services, 3.2 million or 41%. Enterprise Fund, 1.7 million at 51%. Garysburg Water and Sewer, $221,000 at 28%. And last, we have Solid Waste at 1.5 million at 52%. And this concludes the monthly financial report for the month of January.
Board members, any questions you want, just information for? We're gonna get at the end of the year and say we don't have any money. We do this every month so that we'll know what we have.
That's correct.
Have no surprises. County manager, your finance department's done well.
Sir.
I mean, facts are here. It's done extremely well. I want to commend the finance department for what you're doing. Likewise, the audit, y'all are working on it now.
That's right.
I think you just about got to complete it. Be up to date. So thank you, young lady, for working so hard to get you our finances. This time, board members, you do know that we have an opportunity for you, along with our county manager, to give us any information that we might need to have at this time. I'll start with you, county manager. If there's anything that you need us to.
Good evening again, everyone. Just again to echo what Chairman Tynan was saying about the budget. We are progressing along. The goal is to have the 23 audit completed by the end of this month. And again, I said the same words to Ms. Walker this afternoon. They're doing a great job over in finance, pulling the information. It's like night and day, this audit versus last year's audit. So I can tell the difference, and I really appreciate the efforts. We also have the budget worksheets ready to go for the department heads. So that's an early present for you all. We'll have that out tomorrow morning with instructions. But we're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, so that we can get it back and have an opportunity to review it with you and make sure that we have our numbers accurate and complete and ready for presentation in April. So that'll be out sometime tomorrow morning, so look out for that. Other than that, everything is going well, so I appreciate everyone for coming out. As usual, I like to say thank you, because you don't have to be here, but you You show that you are concerned and you're interested about what's going on in the county. So we do appreciate your time and efforts in showing up for the county. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. At this time, we're gonna ask, Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Say good evening to everyone and thank you for coming out this evening. Do want to, just, well wishes to Northampton County Schools, as they have moved up in the rankings, as noted at their board meeting. So I'd just like to say congratulations, and February is Black History Month as we move forward, and just want to pay honor to all the African Americans that have made contributions here to America. Those are my comments. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and just wanted to announce for any of those that haven't heard, Jackson lost, I believe, our oldest citizen, Mr. J.D. Carver, 101 years old, passed over the weekend. He was a World War II veteran and asset to the community, a deacon at his church, and has served the Jackson community for many years. And
Amen.
just want to share his passing if anybody hadn't heard.
I wish we had the information with the resolution.
Well,
That's been
he
out.
just passed yesterday, so
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay.
We can do that.
that-
Absolutely.
that would be nice.
Yes,
So the next meeting.
absolutely.
we will be able to put that
Amen.
knowledge, what contributions made. Commissioner Faulkner.
Again, thank everyone for their dedication to the county, from our coworkers in the various offices to our citizens who we serve. We thank you again for being advocates for our county in various places. It's a lot going on out in our communities, a lot of people who have been lost. We lost Mr. Julius Webb Sr., who's a prominent educator in our community. And a lot of people are impacted by health and a lot of other issues. So we just want to keep each other lifted together so that you never know what another person is going through. And some things may seem really big, but in the scheme of things, it's usually irrelevant. So nothing that a conversation can't handle. And I'm thankful that we work together as a collaborative county to move our status from where we are to where we know we can be. Continue to share those ideas with one another and with our board and with our county staff so that we can take those things into account as we move into budget season for things that you would like to see in your communities that can uplift our community holistically and collaboratively. And thank you so much.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to just make a few announcements. Number one, that we would invite all of you to join us on February 26th at 11 o'clock in our new courthouse. At that time, we shall, of course, cut the ribbon and we shall go in. I note today they were putting furniture in that courthouse. We plan to have it so that all citizens can go in to see. And I think the court will probably move in there 2 or 3 weeks later, but it'll be so that we can all go in. We invite all of you to come. We note that it starts at 11. There is a brief ceremony that we will do, and then we'll all go in to get together. And we've invited all the dignitaries and others to come and join us in this historical moment for Northampton County. I need to say this because it's been said to me over and over again. How much tax money did we use to do the courthouse? I'm saying it one more time. There was not a dime, not one dime of monies from the county going to that courthouse. I gotta say it one more time. It covered the land cost and everything else. The grant that we received covered that cost. One more time, the money is in the bank. We didn't have to borrow, we didn't have to go. It's in the bank. They gave it to us. It's in the bank. So the money for the courthouse is in the bank, and we plan to just have a great time in opening the doors of a new courthouse. I want to also say to the citizens of our county that our old courthouse will remain. It is in historical register, and we gotta keep it as it is. Can't do a lot to it other than clean it up. We plan to clean it up, put back the pictures, restore it back to its original form. That's what we plan to do as soon as we move out. So those been asking, how about the pictures and everything that we had in there? They're going back exactly to where they were. So I just wanted everybody to know, please tell the truth on us. We're not out to destroy, we're out to build up, folks. That's all we're out to do. Now, I also want you to know, they also started the second building down there. Let me say this to you also. Butterfield from Washington, D.C. gave us the $5 million for the additional building that they're working on as we speak. We will probably go in there sometime in the latter part of this year. In that building, it will be housed the register of deeds, the tax office, the county offices. So when you go to Jackson and come to the courthouse, you make one stop. You'll be able to take care of all of your business at one stop. This was money given to Northampton County. I need to say it one more time because I get tired saying it. This was given to Northampton County, not a dime. Am I right? Not a dime have come out of the taxpayers' money in Northampton County. Please, folks, just tell the truth. We work hard to get these funds into our county. And there's some other folks who understand our needs and say, likewise, we want to help you do it. Along with that, our economic development is here tonight. We will sometime this month break grounds for a housing program that we're going to do right down by Central School. We received from Butterfield, again, $3 million to put up workforce houses. Let me say to you all again, these are workforce houses. No work, you can't stay in these houses. These houses are for employees of Northampton County, state and federal county employees. We wrote a grant and told them we can't have people coming out county because we have nowhere for them to stay. I didn't say that quite right, but anyway, we didn't have anywhere for them to stay. So they gave us $3 million to start putting up workforce housing right down the street. And we're gonna break ground on that. That funds we have, we can draw down. Am I right? Okay, I want everybody to understand these funds have come to Northampton County so that we don't have to use our taxpayers' money. Please note that. If we didn't, we would have to use our taxpayers' money if we were going to do anything. And the courthouse is number one because the state said that our courthouse is not safe. You cannot have a courthouse and everybody coming in the back door. So, to the citizens of our county, we're doing all we can to build us up, not tear us down. And all we want to do is make a difference. And we ask for your continued support for us. We know we also receive from the state of North Carolina about $20 more million that we're going to do water and sewer. Those who are listening, you were in phase 6 water, that will be let in a few days. Now we have a phase 7 water that we're gonna let in a few days. One of them is federal and one of them will be state. None of those funds will come from the taxpayers' tax monies that you pay. That monies will come from a grant that was given to us to help us to make sure that people in Northampton County have some decent water to drink. Decent water to drink. Northampton County, this is us. We want to work hard for Northampton County. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, county workers who listen tonight. Thank you for all you do. We just want to make a difference. Budget time is coming now. You, the citizens, for next year. If there's something that's burning in your desire that the county do, please see our county manager. Only thing we can do is what the law will allow us to do. Let me make sure we understand. We can't do anything. We can only do the law allows us to do. And I see one of our county managers here from the past. Thank you tonight for being with us. Glad to have you with us tonight. But that's what we all about. So if you got those budget items, let us know. Tax, there's no question about it. With the way we're going, we'll be able to reduce tax. There's no question. We just don't know what's coming up between now and then. But if things keep moving the way they are, every year I've been on the board, we reduce tax for at least 0.5%. Now it looks like we're gonna be able to do even more this coming year. No promises. Let's see what the imbalances look like. We're gonna do all we possibly can. I know some folks do not understand because of the fact, I guess I'm talking too much, but some folks don't understand about the revals. That's a requirement. We don't do it just every 8 years. We don't do it every 4 years like Wake County, but we ain't got that bigger growth. But that's a state law that you gotta do it. And that's what we've just done. Thank you, Tax Department, for working with us. Thank you, citizens, for understanding. And you know, if your tax, if they evaluate you and your tax goes up, that means your value of your property is going up. And that means if you sell, that means you're gonna get more for your property. That's what it is. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to me. It's just in our heart that we want to make Northampton County better. Any other board members? Any other questions? Any other things you all want to say? Any others? No? Could I have a motion that we adjourn?
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
We move in proper second that we adjourn. All in favor, let know by you saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you.